Hi everybody, I'm Monica.
I'm Candace.
We are Glass Over Teakettle.
And today,
what are we doing?
We're cutting glass.
Let's cut some glass. Let's go. All right, welcome back to our channel. We're so glad you're here. If you've been following along, we have been going through each step of how to make stained glass happen. So today is cutting.
Yay, finally.
And let's start with the tools. So what's the first thing we need to know?
So the most important tool when you're cutting glass is your glass cutter.
Yeah.
The name glass cutter is kind of misleading because what you're actually doing is scoring the glass. So you're like essentially making a little scratch mark. This is the glass cutter. This is the tip. It is not sharp. You can roll it on your hand, roll it across your hand. You're going to be fine.
It's a tiny little wheel.
Yeah. And
it makes that line, that scratch, score mark in the glass.
And then we break the glass on the score mark. So that's what cutting glass is.
Hopefully. It doesn't always work as you plan, but yeah, the goal is to break the glass along the mark you just made.
Yes.
So we are big fans of the Toyo brand, T-O-Y-O. There are other cutters out there. Try them all. See what works for you. We just happen to like Toyo.
Yeah.
It has an oil reservoir. We fill it with stained glass oil, which does keep your cutter lubricated, but we also keep a Tupperware with a paper towel, and we're constantly touching the tip, keeping it clean.
Yep.
Got to keep this video clean, Candace.
Yes.
Just the tip.
We use a pistol grip cutter, which is what this handle is called. There's also pencil grip cutters. There's a bunch of different cutters. So yeah, just try them, see what works for you, what feels the most comfortable.
And speaking of that, like seriously, you guys, find the grip that works for you. There's not one right way to do this.
Yeah.
So some people hold it way down here. Some people put their finger to guide. Some people fist it, double fist it. Man, we're on a roll.
Yep.
Okay, but there's no right way. We happen to we prefer the pistol grip, and we always cut away from us. Some people cut toward them. So experiment. Try a few things, see what works for you.
Yeah.
After we make the score line, and we gotta break the glass, hopefully on that score line. How do we do that?
So we use pliers. There are different types of pliers. These are called running pliers.
Yeah.
We tend to use these to break down sheets into smaller sheets of glass on like straight score marks. A lot of stained glass artists use these for every break. So it's all about preference and what you want to do.
Yeah, and your budget matters too, because there's plastic, there's metal, there are some that are really expensive, but we just recommend trying different ones to see what works. Like Candace said, we use these for big sheets, but in our everyday cutting day to day, we tend to use something different.
Yeah. We use Grosers.
We love Grosers.
Yeah.
It's a smaller plier. They're really flexible and strong. Yeah, we love these. These are our weapons of choice. Find what works for you, but this is what works for us. So let's demonstrate some scoring and some breaking, hopefully on the line.
Here we go.
Okay, let's demonstrate some cutting. So I do wear a safety glove on the hand that's usually interacting with the glass. I have safety goggles on, I swear. But let's show you what we're doing. 4 different types of breaking. So I'll make 4 score lines and I'll show you different methods. Something to know, there's some rules. You have to always cut from edge to edge. You can't just cut halfway and think you can break glass that way. You have to cut from an edge to an edge. The second thing that's really important is you can't lift your cutter. Once you've started, you've made that commitment, you can't pick up and decide to change directions. It's commit and you score. The third thing we want to mention is you need to go either away from you or toward you. You can't sit here and go back and forth. That won't work. It's one movement, one swipe. And then the third, fourth, wherever I am, fifth thing is pressure. You have to practice. You do have to apply enough pressure to make a scratch mark, but you have to be light enough so you're not breaking the glass. And then lastly, this is a little more advanced. You can't change directions mid-cut. You can't make a 90-degree cut. We are hand cutting here. We do not use fancy lasers or saws in our studio. Everything is hand cut. If you want to learn how to make shapes that are not possible by hand cutting, please go watch a different artist. We're hand cutting here. So let me make a score mark. Edge to edge, one direction. It creates a score mark. Hopefully you can see that line. I'm hoping. Let's just pretend you can. There's a line. Now, the first method is grosures. Actually, let me do running pliers first. Why not? So I know which one the top is because I wrote top. I line up the center with my score mark. I should have made a line for my score mark so I could show you. I push the glass in and I squeeze. I release the pliers and my score mark worked. Okay, let's try another one. This time I'll make a line so you can see. So now I'm going to follow my line, one direction, enough pressure. One Direction? That band is not on our studio playlist, but Harry Styles might be. Just saying. Okay, let's do this score mark, right? Enough pressure, don't lift your cutter. Best sound in the world. And now I'll try grosures. We love grosures. You want to put the grosures as close as you can to your score mark without going over it. You want to hold the glass to the pressure on the other side and then pull away from each other. Okay, hopefully you saw that. It's important to know which side of your grosures is the top, which I have marked with a dot. And it's really important, I just want to show you that again. It's really important to get your grosures up to the score mark without touching it. Squeeze the glass on the other side and separate. Okay. Another common thing we do around here to break our glass after we score it is we tap it with this. Most cutters have some, well, I don't know. The Toyo ones both have these screws where the reservoirs are. This one's on the pencil method. And we use them for tapping. You hear this all day long in our studio. My method is to hold the side that's larger. I hold my glass as close, I should have told you this when I was separating those. I hold my glass as close as I can to my surface. So when it breaks off, it doesn't have a long way to fall. I'm going to hold it as close as I can. And I'm never going to hold it over the floor where it has 3 feet to fall. So tapping method. You have to tap underneath where you scored. You cannot, please don't tap where you just scored. Go under it and tap it off. Love it. Tapping's one of our favorite methods. And another one, if you have a small piece, another method, small enough piece and you're confident, you can break it with your hands. It's not the most recommended, but I just want to tell you there are different ways. If you're a glass artist out there and you have yet another way that you separate your glass after, we'd love to know. Okay, we're back and we're hoping that some of those glass cutting tips helped. It's just a little preview. There's a lot more to cutting, but we wanted to give you some basic 101.
Yeah, it was the tip of the glass iceberg.
Nice. What are we doing next week?
Next week, we're actually going to be cutting out the pattern that we have been working on in the last couple of videos. So if you're working on it with us, follow along next week and we'll cut it out together. I'll link the pattern again in the description below.
Perfect.
So that if you want to follow along and you haven't got the pattern yet, hit it up.
Yeah, grab it. And if you didn't watch a previous video where we prepped our pattern, our glass selection, and prepped our glass, I don't know.
Prepped our pattern.
We did something with pattern and glassing. You should watch that video and you'll notice this has curves. We didn't go into that today, so be sure to tune in next week to go over that. Every Wednesday we're coming out with new videos. I'm Monica.
I'm Candace.
We're Glass Over Teakettle.
Be sure to like and subscribe and click the notification bell and all those YouTube things. It really helps out our channel. And if you found anything interesting or you have methods you want to share, leave them in the comments. We love hearing from everybody, whether you're a stained glass artist or you're just interested in stained glass. It's awesome that you're here.
Yes, love having you here. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that's a lot of hands. Bye.
We got to work on that, honey. Bye.